The Straight Talk Wireless 400 at Homestead Miami Speedway. We promised you cars running right up next to the wall. We got that and then some. Some people got into the wall, including the race winner, Kyle Larson. But let's dive into what happened in this race. Stage one, Alex Bowman starts on the pole after a great qualifying effort from that number 48 team. But Ryan Blaney, who seemed to have the fastest car on the day, passes Bowman early in stage one on lap 9. And it was Blaney who dominated the first section of this race. We had our first complete green flag cycle of pit stops. Obviously, we've seen green flag cycles earlier this year. We saw some guys pit at Coda for strategy. We also saw, at least part of a cycle of green flag stops at Las Vegas. But this is the first time that we made it all the way through a green flag cycle without incident. And Ryan Blaney gets back out in front after pit stop cycle through. We're running all the way to the end of the stage. And then Christopher Bell, who had a hot start to this year, spins with 11 to go in the stage. Rough day for the number 20 team at a place where you would expect him to run well, given the 20 car and Christopher Bell's background on dirt. It seems like Larson and Reddick are two guys that run really well here. You expect Bell to run well here as well, but it just wasn't happening for him today. After the restart, with 5 laps to go, Blaney holds off the field, wins stage one, and that 12 car looked like an absolute rocket ship out there. Interesting note, during the stage break, this is a tight pit road at Homestead, with that wall separating the track from pit road. And we saw it cause an issue. Josh Berry and Joey Logano both running up close to the front. Berry in particular looked good after his win at Las Vegas last week, but they spun on pit road just because of the close quarters. Berry coming out of his stall gets into Larson, and Logano's coming out of his stall at the same time, and the 21 and the 22 both get the raw end of the deal there. But then we go to stage two. Ryan Blaney again out front. Interesting strategy note here. Ryan Blaney pits a little bit earlier in the stage, while guys like Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin stayed out and ran on their set of tires a little bit longer. We saw a tire fall off be a real challenge for the drivers to deal with. The green flag cycle goes through. Blaney's out front, but because Hamlin and Larson stayed out on the track a little bit longer, they had fresher tires there at the end of the stage, and Hamlin was able to get by Blaney and win stage two. Big for that 11 team to get a little bit of momentum. We go to stage three, and Bubba Wallace grabbed the lead early from Kyle Larson, led for a lot of this stage. Carson Hocevar, who's having a good run, ends up going to the garage with an electrical issue, but we're staying green. Bubba Wallace leading the pack, Larson and Blaney kind of trying to run him down. Then all of a sudden, without warning, Blaney's engine blows up. The best car of the day is out of the race, and we had a caution to set up the kind of final run to the finish. The restart wasn't great for Kyle Larson. He started on the outside of row one, but going into turn one, even though he got out to kind of a little bit of a lead over Bubba Wallace on the inside, Larson got past and falls back to fifth on that restart. It's Wallace who takes the lead once again, but Alex Bowman had a little bit better car on that last run and was able to get by Wallace. And then you had Larson kind of carving his way back up, getting back by the cars that had passed him on that restart, ripping the wall. Just, you love to see the visuals. I talked about the visuals all weekend leading into this race of those cars running right up next to the wall. And Larson running that line was able to get by basically everybody until you get to Alex Bowman. He does get into the wall multiple times, which was kind of wild to see, how durable these next-gen cars are. Getting into the wall a little bit just doesn't affect him as much as some of the past iterations of the NASCAR Cup Series cars. But he closes to Bowman. There's under 10 laps to go. Alex Bowman tries to go up to the high side to take away the line that Kyle Larson's running, take the air off the front of his car. But Bowman then gets into the wall trying to run that line, which he doesn't excel at quite as well as Kyle Larson. Larson's able to get by Bowman thanks to the 48 slowing down with that contact with the wall. And Kyle Larson goes on to win the Straight Talk Wireless 400 at Homestead Miami Speedway. Listen, we knew Larson was going to be a big threat to win this race going into it. He excels at this style of track where you run up right next to the wall. And it was fun to watch him go to work. A lot of momentum for that number 5 team going into next weekend at Martinsville. And that brings me to another point that I want to talk about. Maybe a little bit, not spoken of as much throughout the course of this race, but AJ Allmendinger in the 16 car. This is a team that really struggled last year, but this is the second straight top 10 finish for AJ Allmendinger, and both of those came on a 1.5 mile track. Obviously, AJ Allmendinger more known for success on the road courses. So if this College Racing number 16 team is finding success on the 1.5 miles, Dinger could very well set himself up for a more impressive season than anybody expected after 2 great finishes on 1.5 mile tracks. On the other side of the spectrum, Ty Gibbs, his struggles continue in the number 54, finishes 25th. I mean, when you have 2 of your teammates finish in the top 5 and the one teammate that finishes behind you had a spin and struggles throughout the race, it's just not a good sign for that 54 team. Really wonder how they're going to try to get back into it. As mentioned, we head to the Paperclip, the short track at Martinsville next weekend. Always a lot of fun beating and banging there. The next gen cars haven't been the best at racing on the short tracks, but I'm sure with the different tire packages, I know Goodyear has done a lot of work to try to make the racing a little bit more exciting. We'll see what happens next week at Martinsville. This is another place where Dinger runs well, so keep an eye on him. But I can't wait to get more NASCAR action in. As always, stay locked into Apollo for NASCAR coverage from the Bayou City, and we'll catch you next time.